What's up, everyone? It's Faded. Today we're going to go over my OBS Studio streaming and local recording settings. First off, you're going to want to go and download this, obviously, if you don't have it already. I'll trust that you know how to download things. You can search OBS Studio on Google. It'll take you straight to the link for Windows or Linux or whatever you're using it for. Today we're using it on Windows 10. So once you got it downloaded and you're ready to go, go ahead and boot it up for the first time. Anyways, we'll go straight to the settings. We'll start at the top here. Go to whatever language you need. I go to English because I speak English. Next, I go with the dark theme. You could go light, default, or dark. I like dark because it's just easier on the eyes. I don't mess with any of these settings right here. Alright, let's go down to stream. Okay, this is your streaming service. You could use YouTube, Twitch, whatever, Facebook, whatever you use. You go ahead and do that. Server, primary YouTube ingest server. This is if you use YouTube. I'm pretty sure it automatically does this for you. Then you got your stream key. If you don't know how to find your stream key, you could also Google that as well. Of course, I'm not going to show you because that would be bad. All right, moving on down. Output. We'll start in the streaming tab. Streaming tab right here. A lot of stuff is grayed out right now because I am currently recording, as you can see. Anyways, we'll start the streaming tab. For me, because of the software program that I use to edit, which is right here, we got Power Director 14. It's pretty decent, easy enough to use, but it only uses one audio track. So if I have more than one track in there, I get absolutely no audio. Anyways, that's besides the point. Encoder for streaming, you always want to stick with X264. Now, you have other options which would be able to scroll down if I wasn't grayed out or recording at the moment. If you got a NVIDIA card, it's got a NVIDIA specific encoder. As with AMD, it's got their own specific encoder. But for streaming, you only want to do the X264. Then you want to check the Enforce Streaming Service encoder settings and rescale output. Check that. Now, I stream in 720 at 60 frames a second. It's just easier and quicker. Usually people are watching on their phones or something like that anyway, so the screen's a little bit smaller, so it still looks crisp. Alright, moving on down to rate control. Pick CBR, constant bit rate. You want it to stay stable. Alright, now for bit rate, on YouTube for 1280 by 720, you want a max bit rate of 6000. Now don't leave this unchecked right here, the use custom buffer size, sorry. Keyframe interval, 0. CPU usage preset, want very fast. Now, I'm running this on an FX 8350 overclocked to 4.6. Also with an MSI R9 390 overclocked to about, I think it's 7.5%. Anyways, this is all CPU usage. Very fast. Profile, main. Tune, none. That's default. Variable frame rate, keep that unchecked. And don't mess with this bottom one, the X264 options. Don't even mess with it. Okay? I've been streaming with this for a while now, and the stuff looks pretty decent. I stream quite a few episodes or whatnot of Paragon. You could go check those out. The first one is pretty bad, but that's before I was able to tweak some of these settings and figure it out. The latest one is the best looking one. Now, let me remind you, it's in 720, so it's not the greatest looking, but for streaming, it's more than sufficient. Go ahead and click apply, and once you click apply, we'll move over to local recordings. Okay, now the recording path, you're going to want to put that where you want to store the actual game capture. Now, this is not for streaming. Streaming, YouTube, Twitch, they usually automatically save those videos so you could go back and watch them or download them, whatever you need to do. I highly advise for local recording to and saving to a secondary hard drive, so you're not putting stress on the hard drive that the video game's on. You'll get less performance and it just sucks. Anyways, recording format MP4 audio track. Once again, for me, I need to keep it on 1. And for the encoder, for us AMD users, they have an AMD specific encoder, H264 encoder, AMD Advanced Media Framework. I highly advise going through that. It is fantastic. Scale output, I just keep it at 1080p. Preset indistinguishable, which is indistinguishable. I'm having some issues with the new Ghost Recon Wildlands where it's looking a little pixelated and other games look really good. I don't know. I'm guessing it's just the game. Preset, quality preset, I put at quality. Profile high. Rate control method, constant QP. CQP, constant QP. I don't really mess with any of these. Key interval is 1 down here. View mode basic. Like I said, I don't really... There's some things I just don't change. Oh, and the output mode. You want to put that advanced. You want to be able to... That's up here. Because it'll give you some extra things to change around. And audio. Audio bitrate, you always put it at 320. For streaming, sometimes they automatically lower it. It's not a big deal. Down here, sample rate, 48 kilohertz. And then you audio desktop, default, whatever, you know, your desktop audio 2, my earphone. I got the Astro Mix Amp Pro Voice. So right there, I could control other players' chat, their voice chat, like in Discord or whatnot. So I could record that, and they come through the videos. And I got my mic, also the Astro Mix Amp Pro Voice. Now, if you're running OBS Studio, which is what we're doing right now, you could put in 2 more microphones, so you could have multiple people, you know, say you got buddies over and you're doing some couch co-op, put some headsets on them and enable this stuff, and you'll pick up everyone's voice, which is fantastic. Alright, moving on down. Video. Your base resolution. That is the resolution of your monitor, your native resolution. So I keep it at 1080p. You can rescale everything you do if you want, but I keep it at 1080p. Now the downscale filter, the Lanskos, Zos, whatever, sharpening scale 32 samples is the best one they have. That's what I use. My common FPS value, keep it at 60. Now hotkeys, you can assign buttons for streaming, recording, replay buffer if you choose to use that. I don't use it, whatever. Advanced. Process priority, above normal. My renderer, because of the graphics card that I have, I used a DirectX 11. Color format, NV12. YUV color space 601, YUV color range partial. This stuff is all default. Okay. Now recordings, I keep this all default. This is for the replay buffer. I put that in so I know the difference between the replay buffer and a local recording. I don't even use the replay buffer anymore because it really messes with how well the videos look. Stream delay, this is all default. Automatic connection, default. It's all default. Anyways, hopefully that helps. Most of my streams look pretty decent. Most of my local recordings look fantastic. It's just, like I said before, as Wildlands looks a little pixelated. The anti-aliasing looks like it's turned off when I have it on in the game. I don't know. Whatever. We'll see once the game's actually released, if I actually pick it up. Alright. And for game capture, you want to say this is all blank right now. You want to right-click, add. You name the scene like this. I named the first one game capture, and then I added a second scene. I named it stream, so I got 2 different profiles going on. I could just switch to when I need it and what I'm doing. Go ahead and cancel it. Once you get your first scene in, you know, say game capture, this will be blank over here on right here in this side. You're going to want to right click, add, and for games, you want to go to game capture. Then you can name it whatever you need it, or unless you got an existing one down here. But if you're just getting into this, it's all blank. Okay, once you get into that, it's going to ask you, this is once you get a new game capture profile going. You're going to want to capture specific window, okay? And then down here in the Windows section, like say this is for Battlefield 4, you'll be looking for like bf4.exe. So it only captures that specific window. Or if you prefer, I got a display capture, which is what I'm using right now. It'll just capture literally everything that you're doing on your screen. Sometimes you don't want that to happen. Sometimes you're streaming, you don't want, you know, important, sensitive information getting out on your computer, whatever. I mean, that's up to you. So, but it's the same thing with display capture. You're going to want to right-click over in Sources, add source, and display capture. And it'll automatically just start picking stuff up. Anyways, if you have any questions, go ahead and post in the comments. I'm more than willing to help. This is actually made for somebody that hit me up earlier today asking how to get their streams less pixelated. Hopefully this helps them out. Anyways, have a good one, guys.